Okay, hey everybody. I wanted to reach out to you. I am Professor Krieger, and I wanted to post this video just to get some information out to you very quickly that I want to cover to review what we've been doing in Module 1 and move forward appropriately. So we're moving on to week 3, which is talking about culture. We just wrapped up research methods, and before that we went through the sociological theories. So there's 3 basic theories that we have in our field of our science. One is conflict theory, which is pretty much established by Karl Marx. And what that looks at is anything economic, like an economic struggle between the haves and the have-nots. So when you look at a social problem or any kind of social interaction or situation, and you try to understand it with a conflict theory perspective, you really look at, there has to be someone who's benefiting, who's prosperous in a financial way. So you look at the system in terms of a hierarchy. Who has access to control it and who is working the field, so to speak, who's doing all of the necessary jobs and fulfilling those, but yet not necessarily benefiting or prospering from it. Then you have the structural functionalists, and they look at social functions as like the human body. Okay, if one organ starts to fail, other organs kick in and do double duty to try to make sure that other organ's functions are being met. So to try to reestablish a sense of equilibrium. So that's how they look at social interactions, and those are from a macro perspective. They look at the entire system. Then if you want to look at it from a micro perspective in terms of the individual, you would look at the symbolic interactionist perspective. And what they would say is they would give meaning to certain symbols and certain interactions and social cues. And this can be everything from what a car represents. So if you are driving along and you see this really awesome BMW fully decked out, what does that mean socially? Well, that person probably has a really good job. I mean, these are the things that you start to think. Everything down to a stay-at-home mother. So a stay-at-home mother living in the right neighborhood, meeting a couple other criteria, actually is a status symbol right now because we live in a society where a dual income is really necessary for economic survival. So everything that you can think of under the sun, you can look at through a symbolic interactionist perspective. So you assess what that means to you. And you also understand that what it means to you may be different than what it means to me. And that's what makes it such a fascinating way to examine things and analyze their meanings. So those are the 3 basic sociological theories. Why is this important? The first assignment, the biography, was asking you to present your story. Okay, so present who you are, give a little bit of background, and then pick a theory to try to, which one do you favor and why? And can you think of a situation where you can explain what that theory means? So really, it's kind of a way for you to start the assignment very personal, but then also explain and prove to me that you understand at least one of the sociological theories that you choose, and then apply it to a certain situation in your life. So it's all about proving that you understand what that theory is, okay? That was kind of missed in a couple of assignments or a couple of submissions. So if you missed that, you probably did get a 0, and that's just a way for you to revise it and resubmit it. I'm not about taking points away. So once you go back, if you have to, and you revise it and resubmit it, no points are deducted. But a 0 really grabs your attention, and so that's why I don't give partial credit, but I give that instead. Another thing about the assignments before you submit them for a grade is I need you to really, really proofread. Oftentimes we write and we're in such a hurry that we don't proof our own things, or sometimes we just need a fresh set of eyes. So if you can get one of your friends who is brutally honest and say, hey, can you read my paper and let me know what I did wrong? Because that honest friend is going to say, yeah, your sentence structure is not doing so well. Let's fix some of these areas. Whereas your mom may think, oh, Annie, it's beautiful. It's perfect. Submit it as is, As mothers, we like to see the best in everything. So anyway, proofread your assignments and make sure that they follow APA format. This is a skill that you're not necessarily going to master, and I understand that. But it is another skill that you're going to have to really teach yourself. So if you kind of don't understand what I mean by APA format, I really suggest that you go in and you stick the words APA format into your Google search bar, and it should bring you up to a ton of different resources. The best one is the Purdue OWL, OWL, Online Writing Lab, the Purdue OWL website, and they have everything that you can imagine about APA formatting. But this is a skill that you are going to have to teach yourself throughout college in terms of how to write and cite evidence in your posts. What I am also looking for in all of your assignments here at the college level is that you're doing evidence-based responses and evidence-based research. So it's not enough to say, well, I feel like race is prevalent in American society because, minorities are mistreated in the workplace. I want to know, where did you find that? Who said it? What does the research show? And the reason is this. Sociology is about challenging our preconceived notions. We all have a set of what we think we know. And then when we start to compare it to what is actually happening, we start to see either, one, we're completely correct, and kudos to us, or two, we realize that things aren't always what we see them or we've been taught that they have been. And so we start to challenge some of those beliefs. So it's really important that if you make claims in your writing, that you follow it up with evidence. Okay, so evidence would be connected through citations, and citations would be listed in your reference section. And all of that is going to be done in APA format. So if any of these words or what I'm saying is kind of foreign and you've never done it before, that's completely understandable. But there are tons of resources. Even in our class, I think there's some resources. I'm looking at the class now. If you go under tools and resources, I'm pretty sure that there's some stuff in there about APA formatting. So definitely go and check that out. But just before you write, I want you to be mindful of the topic that we're doing. Okay, for the discussion board, when you're posting on the discussion board, I want you to post your text directly into the text box. So you can write it up in your Word file, which I highly recommend you doing, because there has been times when I'm posting in a class and Blackboard shuts down, or, God forbid I post or I select the wrong option and it completely erases everything that I've done. How frustrating is that? It's awful. So if you type it up in a Word document, then you have it saved, you have it for your records. That's what I would highly recommend that you do. And then what you do is you copy and paste that information into the text box inside the discussion forum. When you are submitting an assignment, though, it's totally different. I want you to attach the document, and all of this has to do with the way that I can present my feedback to you. So if the assignment comes through as a submission text where you copy and paste it into that text box, I can't give you feedback throughout the paper. So it's basically one blurb that you get in the feedback section, which just isn't the way that I want to do things. Also, in the discussion board, there have been times when I have opened an attachment and my computer was completely wiped clean. I don't know if there was a virus. I don't really know what happened. You could probably say I have extreme PTSD about opening things through the discussion board. So I don't open anything in the discussion board, and I recommend that no one else does either. There haven't been many of you guys who have done this, but if you consider doing it in the future, please don't. Just text in the box for discussion board, attachment for the assignment. So it's just, in that direction. Okay, so this week you're doing a discussion board. You only have one quiz, so there's not much going on this week. So look for the feedback in the grade book. I'm working on those all day today. Every grade is going to be updated. If you have a 0 in your grade book, there's a few things that I want you to be mindful of. Okay, if there is a 0 out of 0, then that means that there were no points being assessed to it in the first place. So one of the things you can count on is that you're not going to get any points for the submission that you do to turn it in or to safe assign, whatever system they have us set up one. You don't get any points for that. You only will get your points through the actual assignment, and they haven't been graded yet. And I'm sorry I fell behind, and I apologize. That won't happen again. But in terms of your points, if it's 0 out of 0, you won't get anything for that. But if it's 0 out of 30 and it's affecting your grade, then once the grades come up, that you'll get plenty of feedback and everything will be, assessed correctly. If you have a 0 out of 30 and it's not saying that it still needs to be graded, but that it has been graded, go in and read the feedback and see, why did she give me a 0? Oh, that's right. She gave me a 0 because I didn't talk about a theory and she just wants me to drop a little blurb about a theory in there and resubmit it. It's fine. I'm not big on due dates. I'm not here to take away your points. I'm here to get you as many points as I possibly can, and I will squeeze as many as I can out of what you give me. I am here to see you succeed, I promise. So just if you could do that part in terms of just reading through your feedback, and then also read through everything that I give you. If I post something to the discussion board, or if I have a central post thread in most of the discussion forums, and that's just a way to streamline some of the really great ideas that I see other people doing, or another article that I found, or a video, and so I don't send it out to you and bombard you with announcements. Please make sure that you're seeing all of the discussion boards, any announcement that I send, emails, just anything that I post. Please take the time to read, because remember, this is the only way that I can get information out to you. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for your time in watching it, and I will see you all online. If you have any questions, post them to the questions for the instructor tab, or you can email me directly. Thanks.